welcome to a finally free-for-all Friday. This is Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining us. It's 107 right now, and, well, not totally free-for-all, but it is a Friday, so we will honor the free-for-all tradition. We do have some structure to our show today. That'll be our guest joining us here at the 120 segment. Angie Johnson, NDSU Farm Safety Director. We'll be speaking with her once again, a little bit about farm safety, what they got going on over there, and we'll dive into a few other topics around what Angie is doing nowadays, and a few other topics we're going to get to, Bridgette, or at least attempt to get to, because I think we have about 15 from this week we haven't touched yet. Say, roll them over to next week.
We might, but hold on. Is it just you and I today? Where's Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki?
Mr. Ride Kawasaki. He's got a doctor's appointment, so he took off a little early.
Okay.
It's funny how he scheduled that.
Well, that's fine. It is, and it's your birthday, so we want to make sure we clearly identify you. By the way, Dean's name is up in Justin's picture right now, which I find kind of hilarious on the live stream. But it's Justin's birthday, so for all of you who want to sing, make sure you call us and sing happy birthday to Justin. You can reach us on the Red Wing Shoes hotline, 701-293-9000. I think you should be serenaded for your special day, don't you?
Hey, I wouldn't be opposed to it, you know. That's awesome.
He's like, I can't believe she just did that to me. She totally called me out right there.
We're getting phone calls, so we'll see what happens here. I always take this one right off the bat for you, Jacob. Hi there, who is this? Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus.
Yeah, Odie, it's Bill speaking. Say, ask Miss Bridgette, in a box of potato buds, instant potatoes, in a box of instant potato buds, how much potato nutrient are we getting? They're kind of good. I kind of like them, but how much potato value is in that? And maybe she can research that and tell us good or bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was going to say, I appreciate that question, Bill. I can't do that off the top of my head, but I will do my homework for you. And if you keep listening, I hope you do. We'll talk about it next week. How's that?
Hey, that sounds like a good plan. Thanks for calling in there. And this was another thing, because he brought up potatoes. I saw this video the other day, and here's what you do. You take a whole can of Pringles, and you dump it into a pot, and you add water into it, and you boil it down, and you make mashed potatoes with some butter out of the potato chips.
What?
Yeah. That's what I said when I saw the video. They took Pringles with water, crunched them all up, boiled the crap out of them, cooked them with butter, and they made mashed potatoes out of it. And I bet you it probably tasted all right, too.
Justin, you're a chef.
I am a chef.
I have trouble with this. When you think about taking Pringles and adding water to them, the consistency is nowhere near. Yeah, that's awful. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, you do it over the weekend.
I'm not doing it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was good, because, I mean, they're Pringles. They have to be good.
You say that like you mean it, but we're going to talk later about the fact that now you're old enough to know better.
And that's why I'm not doing it. I told you, everybody, we're going to honor the free-for-all tradition here on a Friday. If you want to join in with a question, comment, want to join in the conversation, Red Wing phone line is open always, 701-293-9000 again, or you can reach us via email, weather or ag, at flagfamily.com, and we'll see how off the rails we can get today.
If someone decides to do that whole Pringles challenge, let us know. I'm not willing to. That's not in my food group to try to do.
It's either there has to be somebody who's done this, but I don't think the people that are doing it are listening to our show, Bridgette.
Obviously, they don't understand good quality radio.
Or food.
Sad.
Or food.
or food. Or food for that matter. Good grief.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Right.
So Dean's gone. It's your birthday. This means we can pretty much do anything we want.
Oh, that's right. And it just so happens to fall on a Friday.
It's okay. So what's up next for us? What do you want to talk about now?
You know, this is one that comes back
to sing happy birthday to you.
Well, looks like we got another caller here. Why don't we take this one as well? Hi there. Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. What's your name? What you want to talk about?
It is just I.
Oh, it's Sidekick.
So happy birthday, better of the two weather forecasters.
Oh, well,
did I say that out loud again?
I thought that was an outie and not an innie there.
I can see Dean sticking pins in the voodoo dolls that we have of each other right now.
Hey, you watch out. He's going to try and return that snowblower you sold him.
That ain't no money back.
As sold as is.
Listen to that Pringles challenge. I think my heart stopped.
Because it's
How
such an awful
absurd
idea.
does that sound?
Yeah, I'm just seeing the sodium content that went to the moon out of that can.
Yeah, then you add some butter to it as well. Sounds like a heart attack waiting to happen to me.
It's kind of like that. What was that burger that Hardee's had a few years ago? I think they still have it. The Monster Burger. There was like 3 patties and 12 strips of
double
bacon.
bypass.
Yeah, we used to call that
double
the heart
bypass.
attack and a sack burger.
Right.
Yeah, we
and
used
you
to
were
order
not
that
wrong.
One. Yeah, can I have a heart attack and a sack, please?
Yeah, it'll cost you $11 though. You can pull up to the first window there, John.
Yeah.
Hey, after inflation, now it's 14.
I want to know what's up with ag prices. In relation to what we're paying on the shelf. Because I'll tell you, I have gotten sticker shock a lot lately on a lot of products. Because the government claims inflation's like 6 to 11%. Yet I'm seeing stuff that to me has gone up 30 to 40% by the time it's on the shelf.
Bridget, that was actually the one of the ag topics I was going to bring up to Bridget there, John. So thanks for kind of queuing that up for me.
I have some stats for you guys.
That's my job as the sidekick, by the way. You just put the 20 in my mailbox.
Hey, well, thanks for calling, John. We'll get that answered for you.
All right. I am shuffling through. Boy, it's a good thing I'm at my desk today with all of the extra things I try to keep handy just for this type of a moment. There is a farmer's share statistic. Okay, so that part I can find when we're on a break. But here's the bottom line of what was just mentioned. What's the farmer's price point looking at versus what we're seeing with food inflation? And they haven't caught up necessarily. Farmers have seen an overall increase in the last couple of years in soybean and corn prices, but not at the rate that inflation has gone up. That hasn't kept up together. So what you're seeing then is that whatever's happening in the supply chain is where more of those increases are happening. You're seeing that a greater share is being taken somewhere between the farm and us as the end user when we're buying at the grocery store, whether that is through transportation costs, whether it is through processing, those types of things. That's where the greater share is being lost. We had several markets rally with corn, soybeans not that long ago. We've seen some downturn. It's all cyclical. It used to be that, man, if wheat moved a dime on the market, that was a big deal. Now we can see it limit up or limit down in a full day. Those cycles have just gotten much tighter together than what they were just even 20, 25 years ago. So it's changed quite a little bit, but I think that's a great question as to how is our commodity price in relation to what's happening at the grocery store for inflation, and they aren't a match. I'll put it that way.
Hey, there you go. We got another phone call coming in here. If you want to sneak in, 701-293-9000 is the Red Wing Shoe Studio phone line. Look at these things blowing up on a finally Friday. Hey there, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Who is this?
Hi, this is Oscar.
Hey, Oscar. What's going on today?
Well, I got a little thing to throw at those potato chips here if you want to listen.
All right, let's hear it. We got about a minute and a half.
Am I on now?
Yeah, you're on.
Oh, hey, Bridget. Pringles came out probably before you kids ever showed up, but they were made out of it. They still are. They're made out of instant potatoes, and that's why the potato chips, the way they make them, all fit stacked in a can. But they were instant potatoes to begin with. And that was, when I was a kid, that was the big deal. We could make them out of instant potatoes.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Oscar. Maybe it's a good idea. Maybe you thought it was cool that they were out of instant potatoes, but nobody said that was a good idea. Just make a regular batch of mashed potatoes, guys. It's not that hard.
Oh, yeah. It's still not my real. But, yeah, if you mash these down, though, I think you would have some all awesome, salty mashed potatoes, with the salt and all the other ingredients in there. But they were made out of instant, so you probably didn't even know that.
That is awesome.
All right. You have convinced me that maybe this is something I could try.
All right.
But I'm not there yet, guys. Nice work. Thanks,
Oscar, thanks for calling in, man. Do it again.
Thank you.
Bridgette, when are you in studio next? Is that next Tuesday or Wednesday?
Wednesday, I am in studio.
Wednesday.
Why?
Because I'm going to buy some Pringles, and before Weather and Ag in Focus, I'm going to stink up the break room by making mashed potatoes out of potato chips, and we'll try them before we go. Maybe we'll try them on air.
On air would be best. We're going to make this a potluck since Dean is gone today. He's in charge of bringing the
we'll feed him
rest
to
of
him
the potluck.
first.
Yeah, you and I are going to make the potatoes. Man, I hope he's not even listening because Wednesday's going to be such a great surprise.
He's getting needles in his back right now. There's no way he's listening. We'd be stressing him out.
It's best when Dean is gone.
So mark it down on the calendars. Next Wednesday, we'll be trying these Pringles, mashed potatoes. We'll try it out, see how well they are. Until then, we'll take a short moment here. We're going to get Angie Johnson on the line with us, NDSU Farm Safety Director. If you'd like to question her with anything that's going on over there, any farm safety questions or tips, feel free to reach out to us on the Red Wing Shoes phone line, 701-293-9000. And as always, you can find us on email, weather or ag, at flagfamily.com. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
They'll have you laughing right along with them. They're Bonnie and Friends.
1866. You could care less about this.
Okay. Are you putting words in my mouth? Why do you...
I'll put words in your mouth on
Why do you
this
think
one.
I care less about things?
Because it's a urinal. When's the last time you used a urinal, buddy?
Can't say I ever have.
Was I right, buddy?
Yeah, you're right.
1866. The patent for a urinal, no less.
And that's pretty important stuff, right?
Yeah.
Bonnie and Friends. Catch them weekday mornings beginning at 5.
Hello, this is Matt Lehman and Mike Walski with Fargo Roofing and Siding.
We are here to help you with all of your commercial and residential roofing needs. From retail to insurance repairs, we've got you covered.
We offer quick turnaround, quality materials, and products to fit any budget.
Our team is here to help. Call today to schedule a free estimate or visit us online at fargoroofing.com. That's fargoroofing.com.
Premium quality, premium service, Fargo values, Fargo Roofing and Siding.
Do you love working on cars but don't love your current job? If so, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Matthew Carlson, owner of Fix It Forward Auto Care. We're a family-owned full-service auto repair shop looking to hire skilled automotive technicians. With our state-of-the-art shops, great work environment with competitive pay and benefits, you'll enjoy a great job with a bigger purpose and a lot of opportunity for advancement. Visit FixItForwardAutoCare.com to apply. Fix It Forward Auto Care, the name you trust for car repair.
Fix It Forward Auto Care.
Rings, rings, rings. Are you looking for an engagement ring, a wedding ring, an anniversary ring? Aaron Wimmer here, inviting you to our special Wedding Ring Spectacular. Wimmer's Diamonds is bringing in hundreds of classic and unique ring styles, May 19th and 20th only. You'll find a fantastic selection at incredible savings. Call or text 701-282-2606 to reserve your spot today. Our Wedding Ring Spectacular, May 19th and 20th, only at Wimmer's Diamonds, 4582 32nd Avenue South in Fargo.
Join me, Jay Thomas, live at Hot Spring Spas and Pool Tables 2 on April 20th for the Big Summer Vibes and Pool School 23. Super sale on hot tubs and saunas with special 15-year financing. Save 25% on your pool and spa chemicals. Live entertainment, refreshments, and grilling on the Big Green Egg. Learn how to sauna like a true Finlander. A wellness presentation and seminar. That is always Pool and Hot Tub Care 101. Pool School made easy. Go to WDAY website for details on how to qualify for the Super Shuffleboard Tourney, where your team can win a fantastic prize valued at $500.
Now is the perfect time to upgrade your kitchen with new appliances from Regal's. Get up to $2,000 back on select GE Profile appliances now through June 1st, featuring the latest smart home technology, providing a simpler and smarter cooking and cleaning experience. Smart technology meets unbeatable prices, plus free delivery and free recycling of your old appliances. Find out why for over 75 years Regal's has delivered value. Regal's, 609 Main Avenue, Moorhead.
What do eyewear and weather have in common? Join us for the Aspire Optical Eye on the Sky weekly weather forecast to find out. Each Tuesday morning, Dean Wysocki, Justin Storm, and myself, Ashley Freeborn, owner of Aspire Optical, will bring you the 7-day forecast.
You never know where we'll be or how it will be presented, but we promise to bring you the most accurate forecast this side of the Red River.
And learn how you can save big on eyewear from Aspire Optical.
Watch the Aspire Optical Eye on the Sky weekly weather forecast on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages.
Trust us, this is weather and eyewear like you've never seen.
News Talk Radio 970 WDAY. Hi, meteorologist Justin Storm. Every afternoon, my forecasts let you know how the afternoon weather is going to go and that all-important ride home from work. In all 4 seasons, that's the reason you listen. Weather changes fast, and I'll give you the current conditions as well as what the evening will look like so you can make decisions on the plans you've made. Don't forget Weather and Ag Radio every day at 1 p.m. right here on WDAY.
And welcome to WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus. I am so excited to be here today with my co-host, Justin Storm. It's his birthday.
Yes, it is.
There was going to be an effect.
Oh, there it
There's
is.
an
Look at
effect on
that.
screen. I had to pause for the confetti to fall. So for those of you watching us on our live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and Acres TV, you get to see all of those effects for Justin's birthday today. And in the break, I had a listener text me. By the way, folks, thank you for always doing that, for giving us a shout out or information, because Teresa was listening and she said, hey, I want to give a bigger shout out to Old Dutch potato chips, not just Pringles. They are locally made in Roseville, Minnesota, and she said they make the best chocolate chippers. So for those of you who haven't had a chance to go buy any, swing by Carol Whitman's later today and pick up a box. They're worth your time.
I think I'm going to do that on my way back up to Grand Forks. It's a great idea right there.
Happy birthday to you. There you go. You can have anything you want now. And even better, we get a celebration with our guest today. She's a returning fan favorite. This is Angie Johnson. She is NDSU's Farm and Safety Coordinator. We are so glad to have you, and welcome to our confetti today, Angie. You like that effect?
Yes, happy birthday. How exciting.
Thank you.
All right, so for Justin's birthday, what kind of safety tips should you give him for the rest of the day, Angie? What do you got?
Not just the day, the whole coming up season, because we're farming now, so we get to operate equipment. And unlike in Farming Simulator, when I take a corn header into a grain bin, it doesn't get destroyed.
So yes, so that's a great lead in. So we are custom farming 20 acres with local farmer Jim Hewlin. We're calling it Here We Grow. That's the name of our project. So, all right, that's a good point, Justin. Angie, you're going to have to be our safety guide in this little journey. What would you suggest as the new guy in a tractor, Justin over there, think about?
Oh my gosh. Practice. Don't be afraid to get some practice under your belt before being released out there. Because every tractor is different. It doesn't matter what color you're working with. It's just getting comfortable and familiar with what does your visibility look like. Your vision is different sitting up in a tractor cab versus playing on the simulator game. And so it's just being really aware of your machine and being comfortable with it.
I think the other thing with that, too, is not just the direct sight, either to your left, right, or in front of you, but what's above you as well. Why is that important to know? I mean, looking up, too.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we can't stress power line safety enough. We're getting ready, like you have both said, it's spring planting season. It will get here, whether we want to believe it or not. It's coming. And so, you know, when you're transporting that equipment, it reaches high up into the air. I mean, our equipment is much bigger, and so low-hanging power lines are definitely going to be something that's something we got to be aware about. And when we're approaching and turning onto a field approach, if there's a power line in that field, making sure we know about it and that we're not setting down the wings of the planter or the digger, whatever you may be working with, and making sure we're out of harm's way of those power lines.
So I got to tell you, Angie, we throw all sorts of topics and things at you anytime that you're on with us. And I'm actually, you can see me sending Justin messages. I'm like, oh, I have all these ideas of things we want to talk about.
That's what makes this scary, you know, because I never know. Like,
how can we get her? Where do we start?
Yeah, that's the scary part.
Right. Okay, so water's going down. Snow has been melting. We've got some minor flooding in fields and so forth. People are probably going to be wanting to clean out some culverts, and they're concerned about those frozen culverts. Any tips that or calls that you're getting right now about some safety concerns around those frozen culverts, Angie? Anything we should share?
I mean, know your surroundings, right? That's number one. If there's everybody has a little bit of a different method in terms of how they open up those culverts. Some, I'm not gonna lie, there's people that want to use explosives. Don't do that. Don't try that. I mean,
seriously, people try
seriously,
that.
And yeah, absolutely.
No,
And so
Justin.
it's so be smart, and know what you're working with, and then what's your exit plan, because water will, once you work on that, water will come out, and it's going to come out fast, and so making sure that water's got an end game, and then also communicating to, like, really this should be a discussion with your township supervisors, and those, if you're having culvert issues, that's really where you need to start with, is talking to those supervisors, so that way we're not causing any unintentional damage just by us trying to open them up.
Angie, when I think about water right now this time of year, and you can have some flooding in your barns, your machine shops, right? Because water's not really moving the way it should be. But also, could we just give a quick reminder that if you're going to do some electrical work, let's say even as much as plugging in an extension cord, maybe not stand in the puddle of water in the barn when you're doing that?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if you're seriously dealing with a flooded building situation, that the power, get that shut down. I mean, get your breaker box, get the master switch, whatever that may look like for your operation, get it shut down, because you just don't know. You don't know what's in store, what's gotten wet. And so you need a professional to come out and take a look. That electrician's got to come out and take a look and make sure that the scene is safe before you go and plug something in.
I do recall a neighbor guy had an area in his shop where water always pooled right by his walk-in door, but that was also the same place where the control box was to move his overhead door up and down. And unfortunately, that shorted out, so you had to use a metal screwdriver with a plastic handle to jump that across so you could get the door to go up, but you had to stand in the water to do it. I would highly not recommend that operation, if at all possible.
Do not do that.
Let's be careful, shall we?
Yeah, if you learn
sounds
anything
like a
from
terrible
today,
idea.
that's our advice.
Maybe today is all about worst wrecks with Angie, all the things we shouldn't do so far. We're not standing in water with electricity. We are not blasting explosives through a culvert. So all of you, put your the stuff that with the tannerite, put your tannerite down.
Tannerite.
Let's not go do that right now. Let's try to hold that together. So, it is a free for all Friday. It is the bottom of the hour, 1:29 in the afternoon. Our guest today is Angie Johnson. She is our farm safety coordinator up at NDSU, and it's Justin's birthday. So we're just going to continue her to pepper her with questions and bad ideas as we continue in our next segment. So don't go away. We will be right back.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right, but right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Oh, can you imagine a stress-free Sunday with family, friends, fun, and food? You can have it when you make Barron's your new Sunday brunch headquarters. Experience a brunch like nowhere else. Your kids will love the customizable waffle bar, fresh scrambled eggs, thick-cut bacon, and much more. Plus, while Mama sips on a mimosa, you can wear out the kids in the arcade at Kingpins.
For a stress-free Sunday, mention My Brunch Headquarters and receive 20% off brunch at Barron's. Make your Sunday stress-free, filled with great food, no cleanup, and most importantly, where family, friends, fun, and food come together for brunch at Barron's. Go to brunchatbarons.com. Again, brunch at BARONS.com. And don't forget to mention My Brunch Headquarters for 20% off and experience your stress-free Sunday at brunchatbarons.com.
Brunch at Barron's, located inside Kingpins off I-29 and 52nd Avenue South in Fargo.
I think farming picked me. I didn't pick farming. I'm not afraid to try something new. It's my farm, my family, and our future. My Channel Seedsman gets that. I get access to innovative products with personalized advice backed by data to maximize my yield potential. With Channel, I know I'll prosper for years to come.
Define your future at channel.com/future. Read and follow pesticide label directions, IRM, grain marketing, and other stewardship practices. Copyright 2022 Bayer Group. All rights reserved.
The landscape of media has changed, and people are more skeptical than ever about where they get their news and information. While major news outlets show decreasing credibility, your local farm radio station still shows strong marks. In a recent survey, farmers rated information from their farm broadcasters as almost twice as reliable as major news outlets. Farm radio continues to be transparent, honest, and trustworthy. This message brought to you by the National Association of Farm Broadcasting.
Are you looking for a summer internship? If so, you are in luck. Mindak Farmers Cooperative, located in Wahpeton, North Dakota, is looking for summer interns in electrical and instrumentation with the opportunity to expand into full-time employment. For more information, call 701-671-7777 or apply now online at mdf.coop/careers. That's mdf.coop/careers.
A little slice of the country, still close enough to the city. A quick 30-minute drive north of Fargo will have you living the life on a beautiful 10 acres. This property checks all the boxes. Rows of gorgeous mature trees. Check. 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. Check. Large metal outbuilding and hay barn. Check. Did someone say chickens? Check. Check. Schedule your showing today at nancykellyrealty.com or dial 701-306-0486.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. It's 1:34. It's a finally free-for-all Friday, and we're rejoining our conversation with Angie Johnson. That's NDSU Farm Safety Director. And before we came into our last break, our last segment, we were talking about all sorts of things not to do. And as much fun as it might be to use Tenorite to remove snow and ice from a culvert, it's probably not a very smart idea to do, or using screwdrivers to finish electrical circuits, or standing in water with the electricity. And I can only imagine what other things we're going to figure out what not to do. But since we were kind of talking about flooding and snow melt, and the spring plant's going to be here soon, eventually one day, hopefully, Angie. When we're out in the field after wet conditions, and although the soil is handling a lot of this water, for the most part, really well around the area, there is more rain in the forecast, and I'll touch on that forecast towards the end of our show. Equipment tends to get stuck sometimes in this thing we call mud. What tips do you got for when your tractor or your planter or something gets stuck out there and you're in a hurry to get it out, and sometimes people don't really think it all the way through, and maybe they're using the wrong kind of chain or tow strap? What can go wrong in these kind of situations, and what would you say to somebody in that kind of a pickle?
No, absolutely. It's perfect timing to talk about this because, and you'll find this out too now with your farming operation, but I'm sure Bridgette knows this all too well, that no one ever plans to get stuck. We never wake up in the morning and go, gee, I hope we get stuck today.
I hope I fly in the ditch today.
Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, we all have different motivators in life, but that generally isn't one of them that we wake up to in the morning. And so it happens at times when it's unexpected, and the worst times it happens is when we just inch a little closer to that slough area, that wet area, thinking we can make it through, and then we bury it. Yeah. Then she gets buried. And so one of the things right away, and people are going to laugh and think this is silly, but take a breath, because instantly you get angry. You get mad, you're stuck. This is going to slow me down the entire rest of the day. Now I got to go tell my boss or my dad or my hired, the individual that signs the paycheck or your family member, whatever that situation may be.
Right, or
and
you're
that
doing the
never
whole
ends.
the rocking thing in the vehicle, trying to go back and forth, and you just make it worse.
Make it worse, you bury yourself even worse. And so really just take a breath. It will be okay. I promise it will be okay. Take a breath, collect yourself, and then start thinking through the situation. Depending upon how deeply stuck you are and with what, if, for example, it's going to be dry fertilizer is going to be going gangbusters pretty soon. I hope anyway. I hope we dry out soon. And so if you have a full load of dry fertilizer on that Terragator and that gets buried, that extra weight makes a huge difference in terms of how much weight you're going to need to be able to pull that Terragator out. And so just your load in general makes a difference. And then, like you had said earlier, the different mechanisms we have to pull things out. And one of the first things I'd like to mention is, even if you have to call a tow company or a wrecker to come in and pull yourself out, that is not admitting defeat. Let me tell you right now, that is admitting how intelligent and bright you are for making that choice, because there are times when you may not have a piece of equipment that's big enough or that's really able to take on getting that stuck equipment out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Angie, that's a huge point that you just made about, doing the right thing when it's time to get that equipment that's unstuck. And I'm going to throw out a challenge to our listeners, and I really hope that they can't fulfill it. And that is, as you get stuck this spring, and I hope no one does, but if you do, and you want to share your pictures with us, you can send them to ag@flagfamily.com. We can share those on our live stream. We can also talk about them if you call us at 701-293-9000. As we get into the planting season for 2023, if those things happen, feel free to send us your pictures, because those usually create quite a conversation when somebody sees what happened to the other guy that day,
And
right?
how deep they got it in the mud.
I'm hoping for none of that. Our water is going down great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're using our soil, our holding capacity has been fantastic. I've never been so optimistic. I mean, our roads aren't flooded out. I can use the same road to every day, morning and night. It's fantastic. I love it. So this has been even though we would like to be in the field already, there's a lot of optimism. We got to have hope, and I really do.
Right. Now, I got another topic here I'm going to switch over to, and I know Bridgette's got one that she wants to bring up. But, we're at that time of the year again. It's calving season's going on. What kind of tips, safety things can we be reminded of when it comes to mama cow and calves and safety along those two with people?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I actually just had a friend of mine send me a barn camera video of a rancher that, I mean, I cried that poor person was mauled by a cow that had just calved. And so that should never, ever have to happen. There are no cows in this world that are worth getting hurt or, heaven forbid, losing a life. She needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
She has future plans that involve being inside a bun. So
Right.
That's my biggest advice is if you have cows that are that tough and that aggressive, it's not worth it. There's no cow out in this world that's worth you getting hurt. And so remembering that, and my other biggest piece of advice is we need to respect cattle or livestock, whatever species you're working with.
Mm-hmm.
We need to respect them, and versus trusting them. It's when we start trusting them, we get a little bit complacent, we get a little comfortable, and usually that's because we're exhausted, right? Like we've been calving now, and it's just, I'm tired,
Mm-hmm.
and we got to be
Right.
okay admitting that, and that's when we let our guard down.
Which I think you're so right, Angie. We've got to be careful around livestock at all times, because they are animals. This is not a Disney movie. They're not talking to us in the next stall. And they can, in fact, be very protective of their young, just like we would be. And so we've got to watch out for that whenever we can and we're out there. Couple of things for you, Angie. First of all, we had a viewer on our live stream say that you match my office. Angie is very decked out in all her NDSU gear today. And My office screams North Dakota State graduate, so we are paired up very nicely. And then secondly, Angie, you are putting together a kids farm safety program, and it's going to be in 3 different locations coming up this spring. Please tell us more so folks can sign their
Oh
children
my
up for that.
gosh. It has been, you guys, can you believe it? Our registration has been only open since April 1st, and 2 camps are full with waiting lists. Waiting lists. Who waits to come to
Yeah.
farm safety camp? It has been a huge, huge success. We have kids returning from last year, and so our program has really grown and developed. Right now, our Williston location still has spots open. But currently, Bismarck and Fargo locations, we are full with a wait list. And so people, don't be afraid. Yes, we are looking at increasing our program next year to possibly adding more. These camps, they just take a lot of logistics and planning because everything we do, hands-on, no PowerPoint. It's all very one-on-one, individual kiddo and an extension agent really doing hands-on farm safety. That includes tractors, livestock, ATVs, grain bins. I mean, we cover a huge swath of a farm system. So we're pretty excited to be offering it in 3 locations this year.
Is there a fee for families who want to send their kids?
Yeah, we do charge $275, and that covers all of the kiddos' lodging and their meals. And then we are actually, if there's anybody listening that would like to be a sponsor of our program, we're looking for sponsors to help because our camps, it is my prerogative that if we are recommending personal protective equipment, different safety feature related equipment for our young workers to be wearing or utilize, then we better darn well provide them with those tools. And so we provide hearing protection. We also, the North Dakota Parks and Rec provides ATV helmets. We do tire gauge, to test tire pressures. And yep. And so really giving these kiddos the tools they need to succeed and be safe on the farm. So if there's anybody out there that's interested in becoming a part of our program, we'd love to hear from you.
I know it's Justin's birthday today, and I know he's also not under 18 anymore, but I could sign him up for that Williston camp. He's old enough to drive himself, and he could hang out with the kids for a couple of days.
We would love it. We would love it.
Oh, that sounds like a grand old time. Well, Angie, I want to give you the last, say, about 2 minutes. If there's anything that we weren't able to get to, something that you wanted to bring up, or any other things that are going on, if you want to share those.
Oh my gosh. Well, I love it when you guys throw stuff at me. Yeah, I guess getting ready for spring, gearing up. We're going to be seeing equipment on the roadways, and I know I've talked about this on the show before, but being prepared for driving conditions involving large, slow-moving equipment, whether that's you as an equipment operator yourself, or you as a general motorist going into work or school every day, just being prepared to slow down and make really good defensive driving decisions when you're sharing the road with that equipment.
Right. Well, that's such a good chunk of our listening audience here in the metro. They're not involved in that. And when they do drive on the county roads out of town, or if they live out of town, that's something that they're going to come across. And a lot of times this is something that happens. And this is, I think, one of the more common accidents involving these tractors and large semis and vehicles on the roads is they're slowing down. Oh, why are they slowing down? What's going on? Oh, I'm just going to pass them. And next thing you know, they're taking a left-hand turn and you end up T-boating the side of the car. For our urban audience, and especially the younger generation that maybe have only been on the road for a good handful of years, you just kind of touched on that. But what should they expect? What should they do when they come around those kind of situations with this big equipment?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, like you said, is slow down. Step number 1, slow down so you have time to react and really assess the environment, assess the situation. And so, like you said, that left-hand turns are just, they put a pit in my stomach for multiple reasons, but also tractors or whatever equipment, irrigators, they're not just turning on roadways, they're turning in field approaches. So you may feel like it's safe to pass, but they're actually going to get the machine operators getting ready to turn into that field approach. And so making sure when you're driving, watch for those approaches and be able to react to what's going on instead of making that assumption that I can zoom around and pass. You've got to really watch and assess that situation. And the best way to do that, slow down. Take that time so you can slow down and react.
Angie, I got to tag on to you just one thing there. And coming from the world that I previously was in so closely with sprayers, like you said, rogators, tender trucks, all that type of thing with crop inputs. Remember that a lot of those sprayers, and Justin and I, we stood underneath them at Big Iron. You know, you're talking about a 5 to 6 foot clearance underneath most sprayers. I host a Twitter space on Fridays, and last Friday, my guest who farms in Wisconsin, close to Chicago, actually, told me that he was going down the road with his sprayer last year on a paved road, and a guy on a motorcycle decided to be daring and drove underneath the sprayer on the roadway. First of all, never ever do that. It scared the crap out of the operator who was driving it. That could have been an accident within itself. You don't know if that machine's turning, so let's not do those kinds of things. Be very, very careful on the road. Just as Angie said, just slow down, wait for that machine to get out of your way. Much safer plan right there.
Yeah, we need to respect those vehicles. Like they can't see you in some situations. Those operators and those machines do not have the same visibility always as a general motorist does. And so we got to be aware and be a defensive driver.
Right. Angie, I got about 20, 30 seconds here. I know we've touched on it, but where can people go to get more information on farm safety and as well as the programs going on?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Go to your favorite search engine, whatever that may look like, and type in NDSU extension, Farm and Ranch Safety, and our webpage will pop up with all of our youth farm safety camp information, as well as resources if you're looking to contact me, or just general resources on farm and ranch safety.
Awesome. That is great. Angie Johnson, NDSU Farm Safety Director, thank you very much for joining us on WAG again. We're going to take a look at the markets with the American Ag Network, and when we come back, we'll continue this finally Free-for-All Friday.
You've heard of the saying, out with the old and in with the new. Hi, Teresa here from the Fargo Red Wing Shoe Store. Have you been hanging on to those tired old Red Wing boots that no longer give you the comfort and support that you need or deserve? Why wait? Stop in and see our certified fit specialist and get you a brand new pair of boots. Believe it or not, feet change over time. So let us use the newest technology to help you find the best fitting boots. 3003 Main Avenue in Fargo, Red Wing Shoes for ultimate durability.
MyPillow just launched the new MyPillow 2.0, a brand new temperature regulating technology, keeps you comfortable throughout the night.
New fabric dissipates heat and humidity to create a cooling sensation, maintain a cooler surface temperature, so if you get hot like me when you sleep, enjoy a great night's cool sleep.
Core body temperature plays a big role in how well you sleep, developed to provide a cool surface and engineered for comfort. Because it's a fiber, not a finish, it will last the life of the fabric.
Knife edge seam, no gusset, available in 4 loft levels, machine washable, dryable, made in the USA, 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee.
To order, go to MyPillow.com and don't forget to use the promo code WDAY.
Or call us at 1-800-875-0644. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener square, enter promo code WDAY, and get your MyPillow 2.0.
Plains Grain and Agronomy Cooperative is looking for a full-time, self-motivated, organized professional to operate and maintain their agronomy plant and grain facilities, knowledge of agricultural commodities and services, and an ability to lift 50 pounds, safely and effectively handle products when loading and offloading according to company guidelines. Plains Grain and Agronomy has a great work culture, pay, and full benefits. For more details and to apply, go online to plainsgrain.com. That's plainsgrain.com.
Wheat market continues to rally. This is the American Ag Network. of Jesse Allen with this market update. Talking now with Arlen Suderman of StoneX. Arlen, a strong rally in the wheat market on Friday. Corn higher as well with some pressure in the soy complex. Can you walk us through what you're seeing on Friday's trade action?
Yeah, it's a combination of fundamentals and technicals and chart signals. We've got a lot of algo computer trading that trades the technical signals, others that are trading headlines, and the human element in there, trying to mix in some supply and demand. And that's what we're seeing. And I think the good news is we've kind of gotten off of trading the outside markets, recession, inflationary type of talk, and we're focusing more on these supply and demand fundamentals. Wheat market is the leader. It's been kind of an on-again, off-again worries about the Black Sea and whether we're going to see limitations on exports out of Ukraine. Russia's been doing a lot of saber rattling on threats that it's going to block extension of the agreement past May 18th that allows Ukraine to export through 3 ports. And Ukraine's running up against more problems trying to export over land to the west, too, as the countries that grain passes into are complaining and trying to block that grain now because they're complaining that it's killing their markets. So the wheat market kind of waking up to that and paying more attention to the drought, therefore, in the southern plains, which just continues to get worse. So we look at corn. We see that China came in about another 15 million bushels today after the 12-some that it bought yesterday. Again, about 2/3 of that is for old crop delivery this summer. The rest is new crop. So demand for corn continues to be good in the absence of a good crop in Argentina and waiting for the Brazil crop, which was just planted over the last 60 days to mature. So we're seeing some demand there.
That's Arlen Suderman of StoneX on the American Ag Network.
Welcome to WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Bridgette Readel, Ag Director, along with Justin Storm, Meteorologist Extraordinaire, and happy birthday, Justin. Thanks for sharing this hour with us today.
No problem.
I might be going to have cake in your honor, even though I'm nowhere near the office, so I hope somebody else gets you cake.
Hey, it's an excuse for everybody to have cake. You're just celebrating my birthday. Or a beer.
We
you get
are.
a beer, too. Or both.
Look, I'm not going to say no.
I'm having a margarita.
Now, while we're on air?
Yes, and later.
Okay. Well, also in line of celebrations, I just want to give one quick shout out. I got a message from the Anselm Church down by Sheldon, North Dakota. Their pork supper and bake sale had to move to April 30th because they had too much snow around the church, and now they got to wait for the water to go down. And if you've not been there, I have. I'm a fan of church suppers. This is a pretty darn good one. So I might recommend you mark your calendar for that one, Justin. Maybe we go down there together to have supper.
Yeah, I'd be open for that.
Okay, we'll keep that open. We got a lot of places you and I need to travel to together, but can we do
it just
that?
Keeps growing.
Oh, it does. And can we do that based on the weather that you've got forecasted for the weekend?
We definitely can, because I don't think it's a day you want to do much outside, because it's going to be a bit on the brisk side. It's going to be a little on the chilly side, and you might even see a few pockets of a little light sprinkle or even a little snow over into Minnesota. And I've got a few scattered rain showers right now, a few down by Alexandria, Fergus Falls, a little bit of light moderate rain up by Thief River Falls in northwest Minnesota, and a few sprinkles just to the west and southwest of Jamestown. So we'll watch a few of those developing and continue to push across the area and throughout this afternoon. Temperatures right now are in the low 40s. We'll stay in the low to mid 40s for the rest of the day. A northwest wind 10 to 20 miles an hour. A slight chance for an isolated rain shower tonight. Again, that could mix in with a bit of a wintry mix or a little snow with some patchy fog as low temperatures drop down towards 32 tonight. And it's just a breezy day on Saturday. 15 to 30, mainly cloudy. A couple pockets of a wintry mix or some sprinkles, mainly through the morning and early afternoon. Temperatures are stuck in the 30s, and we should be able to break into the low 40s with sunshine on Sunday, but the winds will be around 20 to 40, so it's going to feel like we're in the 20s anyway. So just kind of a raw weekend, kind of split with the clouds and sun, and we'll warm things back up into next week, back to the upper 40s, the low 50s, but it'll come with another chance for more wider spread rain Wednesday and Thursday of next week as well.
Sounds, well, it doesn't sound awesome, but it's going to be okay. it is April. We're moving towards spring.
Yep, definitely is. And we're going to head over to the phone line if you want to join in with us. 701-293-9000 is the Red Wing Shoes studio phone line. Head in and see what Oscar's got going on. Oscar, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. What's going on?
Well, that last segment you had, this is really good now. When they're teaching young kids, first of all, if you remember when you took your driver's test, it's illegal to pass in an intersection, okay? Everybody seems to forget that.
Yep.
And number two, with farm equipment, and Bridgette, you can too, these newer tractors, they have turn signals on, they have flashing lights, and most people don't even know what they mean, okay? And like you were saying there, making a left turn into a farm field, there's a lot of older farm equipment that don't have turn signals or lights, you know, and but the biggest thing is this intersection thing.
Yep. Some of the older ones, Oscar, you're right. They may not have quite the same lighting system.
Everybody seems to forget that real easy, you know. So
well, we know some of the older equipment doesn't have as good of lights and so forth as what the newer things do. But we see a lot of equipment that's well lit up, but we just have to look. We've got to pay attention to the flashers, to the turn signals, etc. And you're right, Oscar, whether it's in intersections, but also field approaches, that all matters. So thanks for that reminder to everybody to be safe out there when we're on the roads for the next few weeks.
Appreciate it, Oscar. And I think the other thing with it, too, is just put the dang phone down. You know how many people I see driving around that are still on their phone, texting, watching videos? I mean, I watched someone who was watching a video, TV. They were watching TV while they were driving on the interstate at 80 miles an hour.
You know what you could do instead of watching TV?
You could be watching Weather and Ag in Focus.
You could be listening to our audio, so you didn't have to worry about video. You could just turn on the audio. You can listen to us live. And again, for all of you who might be watching by video, you can do that on Facebook, YouTube, and Acres TV. We stream every day. So
sure do.
If
And
you're
then
home, if you're driving, don't do that.
Not done. just wait till you get home. You listen to us, then you go back, and then you watch us. And on our YouTube channel, we do cut up all of our shows so that, you know, you got the 57-minute live stream as its entirety, and then we chop up all of our ag topics, our interviews, and shorts, and we throw all of those up there. I think we're at about 200 now, so
might be.
Got quite a bit of stuff.
We've got
a few. Go check it out.
We do, and the live stream is fun because you really have no idea, unless you have ever caught us on video, the antics that happen. The facial expressions, the days that Dean and Justin are doing everything they can to make me laugh, where I literally have to either step out of the screen or shut off my mic.
I got you. The one day you almost fell apart. You were wearing the name tag, and I took a piece of paper here, and I just wrote my name, and my name tag is better, and I slapped it up on my chest, and Bridgette about lost it while she was trying to introduce somebody. Felt bad for the person we were interviewing, but it was funny.
It's a rough life here some days. You'd sent a message, I'm sure. Hey, speaking of people who are going to be in on it, I want to give a little shout out and preview for next week.
Go
as
for
we
it.
Think ahead. Okay, so next week on Tuesday is going to be a fellow by the name of Jace Angus. And I have to tell you, I just adore the name to begin with, because he's a saddle bronc rider, a rancher, and an Army veteran from Colorado. He's going to join us to talk about stepping away from the rodeo arena to take time in the military. And then Tyler Sem, he's with Red Pine Distillery out of Grand Forks. Locally, they'll take your corn and produce it into your own whiskey, specially labeled and barreled. I got to sample some of that whiskey that they did for a farmer, Greg Amundsen, who's west of Grand Forks, and it was quite smooth. I'm not a whiskey drinker.
I'm going to have to ask him how much he needs, because I might just take a couple rows and bring it over there, have him make me a bottle. That sounds great.
Well, I think it's a good start. And we're also going to spend some time with Farmers Direct Foods out of Kansas. This is specialty wheat, flours, etc., that is being produced, and you can buy directly from them. And lastly, we're going to visit more with Jim Euland, our Here We Grow farmer with our 20 acres here at WDAY.
Oh, that sounds great. And that'll do it for us today. We thank you for listening on a finally Free-for-All Friday. We're back on Monday with a early Free-for-All Monday. Yeah, we'll touch on that next week. Everyone have a great day. Jay Thomas Show's next.
AM 970 and FM 93.1. WDAY, Fargo, Moorhead, West Fargo.
Good afternoon.